What's up, guys? This is your host, Jacob, and my co-host, Dakota. We are coming in live after our powerlifting meet, the first MASA Strength Championship. Dakota, tell us how you did, man.
Well, I can say I did. My total, I had a pretty good total. It wasn't bad. Lower than I wanted, but I was surprised on some lifts, and some lifts, we'll get into that right now. So, on my recap, on my squats, I ended up getting 465, which was a big surprise.
Massive PR, 10 pounds even over training.
Surprised a lot of people over there.
Including me.
When I went down with it, everybody's like, bro, why'd you pause it? But I didn't pause it. My brain just stopped working there for a little bit.
He did pause it.
My brain stopped working. I was thinking, I guess I thought I was doing bench, huh?
Yeah, waiting for the up command.
Waiting for the up command. Then we went to bench, and disappointment. I got 315 on my bench, and in the gym I have hit 335. I know for a fact once. I guess I hugged the rack. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board on my bench. Jacob, what do you think about my bench?
I think, truthfully, I believe that you made too big a jump. So 295 was a very clean opener. 315 moved exactly like we planned. I think 325 was the ideal weight. You got a little too competitive competing with Lee on that, and you jumped to 335. But, for a first meet, I think you did really good. There's going to be issues, there are going to be hiccups, regardless how many meets you've done. I mean, whether you're a pro or whether you're a novice, it don't matter. First meet to 100th meet. So I think you did pretty good, but I think that's really where you messed up on bench, was you were focused too much on competing with Lee and not enough on
myself.
Yeah, on what's best for you.
So I need to be more self-centered.
If that's even possible, yes.
If that's even possible.
Let's talk about deadlift.
All right, now we do my deadlift. I wasn't disappointed in my deadlift. I wasn't happy with it, but I was glad. So, on the deadlift situation, I went for my second attempt, and I jumped up to, my first attempt was at 545. It moved pretty good. It was a little slow. Then I jumped up to 575. And on my second attempt, I red lighted 3 times. I got 3 red lights. So, I missed that lift. I can't figure out why.
It just wasn't there.
I don't know if I probably wasn't in the right mind space. So, third attempt comes around. I keep it at, 575. I'm like, well, we're going to see if we're going to get it. Put a little baby powder on my legs. I'll go ahead and tell y'all that. I didn't have baby powder on before. I decided to put it on after for my third attempt. And it looked easy. I wouldn't say completely easy, but it moved really good on my third attempt. So I can't explain if it was my mindset or what.
Definitely a mental thing. I think it was a mental thing.
It had to have been. I didn't get to 600 like I wanted. That's what my goals were 600 on the deadlift today. I guess I'm just going to have to try to get it at the gym.
But it was a solid showing for your first meet.
It was. In total, I totaled 1,355 pounds.
Solid start.
For my first show, I don't think that's bad. But for my weight group, it might be a little off. I don't know. I would be where you used to compete about the...
Well, you were 4th in this competition. You placed 4th, so I think that's a pretty solid...
Was it 4th or 5th?
I thought it was 4th.
I was one of the tougher athletes there, so I got pretty decent. We're not sure on the scores yet, but I think it's in between 5th and 4th. But we know exactly what Jacob got.
I got 2nd, and I should have got 1st. I didn't push myself quite hard enough. I played it safe. So on bench, I opened up kind of low. I opened up at 385. It flew. We had about 20 minutes Between the first attempt and the second, I got very cold. 405.
385. You hear them, people? 385 is light.
I mean, 405 did not move the way it should have. I was cold. There was a 20-minute lag.
Well, we will say this. It was MASA's first powerlift meet they threw on. What the issue was there, and what I think it was on Jacob, is he did get too cold. Unlike Jacob's not like me. Jacob, he doesn't like lifting when he's cold. Me, I'm a freak of nature. I can lift cold as crap, but it has something to do with the strongman or my autism or something like that.
I can't lift cold. I got cold on my bench. And then when I went for 410, it just wasn't there. I tried to go conservative through 410. It wasn't there. So 405 was all I got today on bench.
But that was still 50 more pounds than anybody bent. Like what was the highest bench there?
I think I was more than 50. I think I was 50 or 55 pounds ahead. But the thing is, I mean, I came in wanting 420, 425, realistically what I should have hit. And I'm a little disappointed in my performance on bench. Squat was a good lift. I hit 545. I've hit 545 in every meet for the last 3 years. In training, I've done better, but in the meet, I've been stuck there.
You got to think you did have out of anybody there.
I did have shingles. I will give myself that. You had the shingles. But, I mean, that isn't an excuse. I should have done better. On deadlift, I did hit a lifetime PR. I hit a meet PR and a personal PR. I hit 585 on deadlift. It moved very well. My wife actually poked fun at me. She said I should have pulled 600. I agree with her. I think 600 was there all day. So I should have pulled 6. And I think that not pulling 600 was the reason that I took second. Drake Morgan beat me. Drake is a super strong guy, a fantastic athlete, and a fantastic person. I hope we'll have him on the podcast sometime soon.
I think we'll probably actually get him here live to hang out with us.
I hope so. He's a great guy. He's a local athlete.
Yeah, local in Clinton. So, I mean, he probably wouldn't have no problem driving over here one night. We'll definitely get him on the podcast. He's more your world. Who does he usually compete with? USPA?
I think he swapped over from USAPL to USPA. He was an athlete actually at Blue Mountain College, so that's pretty awesome. For those who don't know, they are for Mississippi. They are the powerlifting school. Other D1 universities, really, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, they don't hold a candle to Blue Mountain College as far as powerlifting goes. So he certainly has that going for him. It was an honor just to compete with him. He's a great guy, and shout out to Drake for being such a great competitor today.
He was his squat, man. That was hype right there. He ended up hitting, what was it, 625?
625 with ease. I mean, just casually going through it. Well, I digress. Let's kind of shift over to a personal thing. We have our good friend Josh Mason with us today. Josh was my best friend from high school, my roommate in undergrad at Mississippi State. He temporarily lived with me when I was at Ole Miss. He is the shit king of Mississippi, the head of the sewer and water for the state parks, and just an all-around great guy and one of my dearest friends. We are going to the Bigfoot Convention here in Natchez, Mississippi next weekend. Josh, tell us about that.
All right, everybody, how y'all doing? So it's called the Bigfoot Birthday Bash. So the story goes basically, 300 years ago in Natchez, Mississippi, a French explorer wrote down in his journal the first ever story that we identify as Bigfoot. So 3 years ago, a radio DJ down there found the story, thought, I love Bigfoot, and created a great festival about just the weirder side of life. It's open to everybody. There's no fees for anything. You don't even have to believe in Bigfoot. You just want to have a good time.
Well, I mean, Bigfoot is real, by the way.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I don't believe in Bigfoot, but I am going for the excellent bars and Natchez.
Well, that too, I am going to drink a lot. I'm about to show them Bigfoot. I got a big gut for beer.
But anyway, it's a free event to everyone in Natchez. It's a big old party. They got bands. They got a Bigfoot calling competition.
I actually might do that. I love competitions, dude.
Oh, it's real cool.
What does a Bigfoot call sound like?
Well,
okay, you ever hear a monkey howl?
yeah.
About like that.
Think about your wife yelling at you.
Here, Bigfoot, 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 Bigfoot.
That's not how you do it. It's close, but that's not exactly how you do it. I'll have to show you how to do it after the...
Yeah. But anyway, this marks 303 years since the first written down recording of Bigfoot, and we're going down there to party this weekend.
I'm pretty doggone excited. Josh, I believe, is excited for Natchez Down Under.
Yeah.
Natchez Down Under, which is apparently back in the day, Natchez above the hill. So Natchez sits on the bluff. It is a seaport town. So Natchez up on the bluff is Natchez proper. But when you go down to the docks, down below the hill, that is where the brothels and the bars and the ne'er-do-wells dwelled. And that is where Josh Mason thrives.
Yeah,
Natchez Down Under, ladies and gentlemen.
That sounds like my kind of place. I ain't gonna lie.
Natchez got a really cool history. It is the first millionaire town in the country. Mm-hmm. Biggest trade port before the states were founded.
A little historical lesson here on 601 Strong. But we're very excited for that. We will be keeping y'all updated on whether or not we see Bigfoot. I believe that if we do see Bigfoot, it may just be Dakota drunk and naked in the hotel room. But
probably so, but you know, it takes a lot for me to get drunk. I don't like to brag about my drinking, but you know what? I think we're going to test that out this weekend. Is it walking distance from the hotel, Jacob?
We are walking distance from the hotel, the Natchez Grand.
How many bars and stuff are we looking at?
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, I think a lot's a fair description.
Will I be human trafficked? That is the question everybody wants to know.
I don't believe you are a target.
Unless you get on a rowboat and push yourself down the river, you should be fine.
I don't think you're a target.
You're not the usual target.
At 6'4" and 300 pounds, you are not the target.
I mean, probably not, but you never know.
You would be for a very special kind of clientele.
Well, yeah, but everybody's got their flavor.
Oh God. Okay. back to the strength world. We would like to thank Zach and all the other guys at Mississippi Association of Strength Athletes for putting on such a great event today. We'd like to thank the Clinton Healthplex.
A very good gym. Like, they had all the equipment we needed to warm up with. I mean, they were nice. It was clean. The bathrooms, if you've actually been to a powerlift meet, especially strongman, the bathrooms are usually the world's worst. But they have a good cleaning staff over there, and I'd like to shout them out. I mean, like, really. Like, I peed in peace.
It was a really good meet. I think it was a great start to Dakota's strongman career. Another friend of ours, Mr. Dylan Neal, actually had his first non-high school powerlifting meet. Dylan was a high school athlete at Newton County High School, and he's a freshman out at East Central Community College, and he had his first meet. Dylan's been training with us. I've been kind of helping coach him, and he had his first meet, and it was a great experience. And
he did decently good.
He did. I'm really proud of
it. We need to work. He needs to work on his calls and everything. But the most impressive thing I seen from him today was that 225 bench press.
What does he weigh? About 135, 140?
No, he's not that light. He said he weighed in about 180, so I'm gonna say he's more around the 170s.
So he's done a pretty serious bulk, but I mean he's gained a lot of weight in the last few months leading into this meet.
But I think he might be lighter. He's one of them guys who might be lying about what his weight is.
Well, either way,
he is small. He's really small.
Either way, he put up impressive numbers. I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of you, Dakota. You did great for your first meet.
My total was all right. We're next year. Well, after this year's over, I plan on at least competing in 2 powerlift meets. They're probably both going to be unsanctioned because, I mean, I find it real fun for the unsanctioned meets because, you know, they're a little bit more lenient and shit. And I don't want to go to I don't really care for national level in a powerlift meet like I do strongman. Like strongman, I want to go national and everything. But powerlifting, I just like going to local meets, meeting local people, seeing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would like to get you at least one USPA meet just because.
If you want me to, I will do one.
Well, we'll do one next year, I think. And our next competition that's planned right now, unless something happens and, you know, mixes it up on us, our next competition is the Red Brick Rumble in April.
Yeah, that will be our next one. There's no strongman competitions that I know of right now that are going to be before the Red Brick Rumble. I mean, there's a couple I know of, but none we're going to sign up for. It is not going to be like you're not going in there and you're not going to win a ticket to, you know, any kind of nationals or anything. But the thing about Red Brick Rumble is they give out actual prize money. Now, we don't know what the pot is going to be this year, but last year, if I can recollect right, they gave out cash prizes. First place was about $250. I think second might have been about $150 or so, and third was basically about $75 to $50. You know, pay for your entry basically. And then on top of that, the sponsors who sponsored Red Brick Rumble last year, they gave, like, for the people who podium, they had like a goodie bag full of just, you know, their products and stuff. It was amazing. Like, it's no pro show, don't get me wrong. You know, we're not going to win 10 grand at this show, but there's money to be won for the amateur level. And I mean, nationals and stuff are all good, but money pays the bills and pays for your food. And it's just a really fun show. I mean, last year I came in 11th place in it, so I got to do better this year. But it was just fun. There was great people there. They're doing weight classes this year, and Jacob, what weight group are you gonna compete in?
I don't know. You know, I'm down to 243 right now. I claim 240 just because I guess my ego there, but I would like to compete the 231. My goal would be for me to win the 231 class and for you to win the heavyweight. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'll train with the heavyweight weights because that's what you'll be training with. But I feel like if I can train with the heavyweight weights and get down to the 231, that would be a good start. Bouncing away from strongman real quick, you know, our training's really been kind of unique in that we've done both strongman and powerlifting, and we focused on both. I think that's really been a good, as far as a strength base, we've hit both the functional strength and the static strength, and I'm really pleased with that. Going forward, do you think that our training will change? Go into the strongman meet, or do you think we're going to stay kind of neutral, focusing on both the static strength and the functional strength?
Well, now that we're going to a strongman meet, I'm probably going to take over a little bit on the training side, which we still. You go ahead and tell them what you use for your training. I mean,
I use Juggernaut AI. I'm thinking about bouncing out and doing my own programming, just based on that. But I do believe in the Juggernaut method, and I think I'm going to try to, even as strongman, incorporate some of the Juggernaut method to our training. Just that the general principles of the Juggernaut method. You know, reserving your top lifts for competition. And I mean, you got to think in training we never hit more than 90% of our actual max.
No, we don't. And the AI,
yeah,
it really does. I mean, help. But going into the strongman training, it's a little different than powerlifting. But I still want to throw in power. You know, we're still going to do our 3 main lifts. My plan, and you can tell me if this is the way you want to do it or not. you like to deadlift once a week. We're probably gonna do. We'll probably still deadlift once a week. It'd be on the wagon wheels, but I'm thinking about throwing in some more back exercises and stuff.
Accessory work has to come up.
we're gonna do some more back accessories. Bench, we're probably only gonna do flat bench once a week, and then we're gonna go to incline, just because I feel like incline has a lot of carryover to your to the axle press. Matter of fact, what I want to do is I want to do incline axle press.
I think we'll need to find a rackable axle, but I agree we need to do something that will carry over better.
And then, of course, we're going to do a lot of overhead. We're going to be doing a lot of shoulder work, trying to find the right spot. Because, like I discovered today after doing this bench, I think I need to go for a wider grip on a good bit of my lift, like my bench, because I have really long arms. I have gorilla arms. I mean, they're just long. And I think if I get with a wider grip on stuff, I would actually be able to hit a lot of PR numbers. And I think I'm weak right now where it is if I go wide. But if I keep on training it, because it involves a lot more of your chest, I need to build up more of my chest. But when it comes to overhead, it's still nothing but arms. So I'm gonna try to do a little bit more. I'm gonna try to throw in some of that Olympic. I want to try to see if I can't do a little bit of Olympic lifting in my overhead on the axle and see if that would help me.
I agree. And we're very fortunate that we've maintained a lot of our overhead strength. Our accessory work has been overhead barbell press and axle press and log press. Instead of resorting strictly to flat bench or other variants, we've done a lot of overhead pressing. So I think that's really helpful. Well, look, before we tie up the end of the podcast, in our first podcast, we talked about what we were drinking. So I think we ought to finish up tonight talking about what we're drinking. Josh, our good guest, the shit king of Mississippi. Josh, what were you sipping on during this podcast?
I had myself a very nice whiskey sour.
Props to the mixologist there. Taking a little bit of credit.
Yeah. Dakota?
I'm just drinking a was it Lone Star?
Lone Star.
And fun, that was a fun story about how we got these. We went all the way to Texas because you can only get these in Texas for some reason. But that's for another podcast, for another day.
We happened to buy a Texas gas station out of Lone Star beer.
We did, literally, all they had was, what, was it 12 packs?
They had 12 packs, and we bought every 12 pack they had.
They had to go in the back and get them.
They looked at us kind of strange. We said, give us all you have.
Because usually no one goes in there and asks for Lone Star. I guess Lone Star is like our Budweiser around here or something like that.
They're the old Milwaukee of Texas.
That's exactly what they are, the Beast.
The Beast.
Oh.
And I'm just having a whiskey straight. The one I'm drinking right now is a Japanese whiskey. I do not know the name. My brother gave it to me as a gift. It honestly, Japanese whiskey tastes like Irish whiskey to me.
I can see that.
I'm a Scotch guy, but it's all right. I like it. It's mild. It's sweet. It's not very oaky. It's just kind of a smooth, neutral whiskey.
Now,
So
before we do end this podcast, I do want to talk about the Redbrick Rumble one more time. And let me look it up on my phone. I do want to mention the events they're going to have. Because anybody listening to this podcast, if you're interested in signing up, definitely sign up. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we're going to be doing. It's 5 events, of course. Just about every strongman is going to be 5 events. Unless you get into the pro level or you're going to a bigger show, I've seen 8 events before. But for the Redbrick Rumble this year, or the next year coming up in April, the first event is sandbag toss. They're going to have a lightweight, middleweight woman and heavyweight woman, which is going to be 160 and down and 160 and up, and then a lightweight men, 231 and down, and then 231 and up. Second event, max 13-inch deadlift. That's going to be with the wagon wheels. That's going to be the interesting one. You're going to have You're gonna have three lanes going. You're gonna have 3 attempts. For the lightweight women, y'all will start off about 205. Heavyweight women, y'all gonna start about 250. Lightweight men, it's gonna be about 405, and then heavyweight men, it's gonna be 455. And me and Jacob, I'll be honest with you on that one, we're probably gonna start off a lot heavier than that. More than likely, we are gonna start off heavier than that.
We plan to start around the 660 to 700 range.
That's what we're
realistically.
For the third event going on in that competition, you'll have the duck walk to sandbag carry. Lightweight women, I'm assuming your duck walk's gonna be 125 and your sandbag is gonna be 125. Heavyweight women, a 170 duck walk and a 175 sandbag. Lightweight men, middleweight men, a 280 duck walk to 250 sandbag. And for us heavyweight men, it's going to be like a 325 duck walk to 300 sandbag. That's going to be interesting. I have carried a 300-pound sandbag before, and I can't do it. So I'm pretty confident in that one that I'll do decently if I'm fast, which I'm usually dynamically fast. I mean, it's just how, I don't know what it's about my body. I'm just pretty good at that. Event 4, a light axle, CNP, 10 points. Heavy axle, CNP.
Now, CNP is
points.
clean and press.
Yeah, clean and press. My bad. Let me talk regularly. He's got. It's going to be a light axle clean and press. That's going to be 10 points. And then a heavy axle clean and press is going to be 100 points. The lightweight women, it's looking like 105 pounds for the light one, 125 for the heavy. For the heavyweight women, it's going to be about 125 for the light and 155 for the heavy. For the middleweight men, it's going to be about 205 for the light and 235 for the heavy, which is a pretty good weight. I'm not going to lie. I mean, for that set. And
I feel pretty good about that. 235 feels real.
If you can get down to below 231, you definitely would have that. Heavyweight men, it's going to be 235 for the light and a 275 for the heavy, which
that's gonna be a chore.
It is. That one's going to that right there is going to be a lot of strategy, and I got in my head if I can hit what I want to hit. And in the most famous one in the Red Brick Rumble,
the Denny Stone.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about this. I've been looking forward to it.
I'm going to buy this. I'm looking to buy the Cerberus Denny Stone replica pins, so we can actually train this at the gym. I want to go for the gym record up there, which is the full weight of the Denny's for 7 seconds. I'm hoping to hit 10, 15 seconds. We'll see when we get there. Let me tell you the weights for the women. The lighter option is going to be 175 and 141. Or their heavier option is going to be 257 to 186. Which, of course, if the women want to try the men's weight, they're more than willing. Zach's done talked about this on Instagram and everything. So, the weights on the Denny's really don't matter. You do what you want to do for the set weights. The men, the lighter end is going to be 302 and 231. And then the heavy, the actual Denny Stone weights, is going to be 412 and 321.
I had the full intention of hitting, at least lifting the full Denny weight. I really believe that even lifting the full Denny weight is an accomplishment.
It is
in and of itself,
and it will count. It doesn't. They might not be able to count a second on that, but they will count it as a lift as long as you get it off the ground, and that will put you ahead of the. Say if you're doing the lightweight man, the middleweight man, that will put you ahead of the pack. Because I highly doubt there are going to be too many people. Last year there was 2 guys. I can't think of their name right now. There were 2 guys last year that did it. One, Jackson, he picked them off the ground and put them back down. So he did lift them. And then the other guy is Zach's coach, I believe. Let me see if I can think of his name right now. He's from Arkansas, actually, and he coaches he coached a football team up there in Arkansas. I can't find his name. I'll look it up here later and put it in the comments. And if y'all looking for any coaching or for any advice, he's always willing to give out advice to anybody. So that's what I wanted to say about the Red Brick Rumble. I'm gonna shoot it back over to Jacob and let him.
Well, I think we're about ready to round it out, man. It was a great meet today. We're looking forward to our training for the Red Brick Rumble. I plan on taking what you think about a week off? Not really off, but just taking it easy.
We're gonna come to the gym and bullshit, and I think tomorrow is tomorrow gonna be an off day.
I think we'll probably hit something tomorrow. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So we'll take about a week of just taking it easy, and then after that, we'll be wide open, get ready for the Red Brick Rumble. Well,
yeah, we can really figure out our training plan this week by going in there, doing lightweight, and figuring out what we're gonna do.
Feeling it out. Absolutely. Well, thanks for listening. As always, please like and subscribe. Please comment any questions you may have. When you start posting questions, we'll be glad to answer them. And as always, if you would like to be on the podcast, be our guest, please let us know. Thanks. Until then, stay strong.
Stay strong.